Well, you had a lot of last year. It seemed like you had a lot of predictions last year. You kind of became this oracle last year. Did you feel that? That people came to you, you almost became kind of like this, like a little bit of like a crystal ball, you know?
Mm. I'm honored to get to say the things that I say when I'm saying them, and because you know that I operate from a positive first standpoint in all things. Like, I assume that it's going to work out for the best, and I understand that if it is for the worst, then I'm prepared to handle that as well. But yeah, it was something.
Did you start to worry any about your own safety and stuff? Because it seemed like you really had some moments where you're kind of, almost channeling truths into the world. And some people don't like that. Some people don't want to. The dark side of things doesn't really probably enjoy that.
Folks, that is not your phone. You are not losing a connection. If you're only listening to this and you're not able to watch it, that is literally Katt just being extremely cautious on the things that he says. He has said some things in the past that may have gotten him caught up because a lot has happened. If you go back and look at a few of his videos, he has said that this guy said that he was a clairvoyant, said that he was able to see into the future. But the ironic thing is, a lot of what he said was going to happen has actually happened.
Well, what it was that I was attempting to do was impossible. So before I do this interview, there is no Illuminati. It's just a joke. It's just something that crazy people talk about. There's no such thing as our side and God's side. None of that is even real. I gotta come and make it real. I have to come and say, no, 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 no. Everybody's not the same. So that's why when I said that, nobody came out and went, that's not true. I'm on God's side. Like, none of them. I'm just, the conversation was to show that there are spiritual things going on in the world and that there are things that are bigger than just coincidence, and that a ritual is something that you do over and over and over again a certain way. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If part of the ritual is wearing a dress, then we should be able to look through entertainment and see all of these people being made to wear a dress. That's what a ritual is. You know what I mean? Like, whether they're white or black, that doesn't matter. There's not other jobs where this is a requirement. Why is this so necessary?
Yeah, you don't see the dog catcher show up every other year.
Like, it's not a thing.
In a nice skirt, or you don't see an electrician.
Right. So
come up in a blouse every now and then.
Right. I'm saying a lot of people that doubt what you say don't read, and they haven't been readers. You know what I mean? Like, books were my life, literally. I thought that I could learn enough information to be an important person. You know what I mean?
Do you feel like in Hollywood that there are, I've heard you kind of allude to the fact that there's like kind of darker forces that kind of like, that present opportunities to people in trade-off, right? In trade for their own, maybe their own peace, maybe their own reality, maybe a sacrifice of the actual direction that they want. Do you think that really happens, that kind of stuff?
Is the way him not answering right away more so telling than him answering right away? Is it easier to read in between the lines due to his silence? I'm kind of sensing that.
I think everything is controlled and regulated.
You think there's ever ways where we can get to the control room and see who's controlling, or you think that's all?
We're past that. We're past that. But we don't protect the whistleblower, right? We don't honor the scout that would tell us who it is. Matter of fact, when they get him, we're gonna go, I could have told you that was gonna happen. They're telling too much truth.
Do you think Hollywood has a lot of things that they like hold against people, you know? Like I had a theory that,
A lot of this is human nature.
right, so it's not even Hollywood, it's just human nature.
It starts as human nature.
Right.
Like I'm saying, these things that I'm saying in Hollywood exist in religious circles, in politics, in the medical profession, in yeah.
In any circle of business, really.
Yeah.
They had a big bust with Puff Daddy where he got arrested. And then they've had like accusations and stuff. He hasn't gone on trial, I don't think yet. But do you think that there's been speculation that they did that because the timing of that was they wanted to like use other people that have allegedly been involved in some of his circles they wanted to kind of use like, okay, you could be next unless you help this political plan. Do you think that's at all possible?
That's how all cases are handled.
Yeah.
Right? So what am I saying? I'm saying if it's car theft and we're going to accuse you of having a carjacking ring, right? We're going to begin by bringing in people that we caught who were robbing cars, who said that you was the boss. They're first in line. And then we're gonna bring in victims, the people whose cars you stole and said, yeah, that was him. That's how they build a case. So none of that should be shocking.
You don't put it past them.
It's part of what an investigation is.
But do you feel like they would say to someone, okay, we're going to bring you in unless...
Absolutely.
I'll say this, the difference between this interview and many others that I've seen with Katt will typically ask you a question, a thought-provoking question, so that you can see his point of view. And he's just not asking this man any questions at all. And that's probably why it may sound a bit scripted, because the guy on the other end is just like, I'm having a hard time jumping in here because you're just asking me any questions.
That's what they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like in the rap world, like all of the rappers that you know that never been to jail and never gotten any trouble with the law, but they talk as if their life is opposite of that. Like those are federal informants, like, you know.
You think they're really out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's part of the job, is to acquire those. It's like saying, you know, if you're playing chess, do you have any pawns? You have to, don't you? You can't start without them.
Right.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Man, so how do you know who is... That's part of the game, huh? You don't know.
It's part of the game.
Yeah, it kind of makes it exciting, too, when you think about it.
It can be exciting and depressing. Mm-hmm. This thing does not happen in yearly cycles. Like, it's not a every 12 months thing. It's not how it works. So the age of truth is not 1 year. It's the beginning of people having more of a thirst for what is true than an appetite for lies. So if you sell lies, it's a harder road for you. If you have truths to tell, people are hungry for that, and they'll pay you handsomely to hear the truth. It wasn't always that way. It's that way right now in real time. Whatever that means to you, that's the battle that's going on, is people who profit from the manipulation of others by getting you to believe something that's not the case. And that's how they make their living. And it is now a difficult time for those entities.
Do you think that there is actual cloning going on?
We know that there's actual cloning going on. The question I believe you're asking is human cloning.
Oh, yes, sir.
But let's start with the real question. The real question is cloning going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I knew it.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying, let's just say animal cloning.
Oh,
right?
yes.
Let's start there. That's not a myth or...
No, that's been known.
That's not a conspiracy theory that we are at the point where we have no problem cloning animals. If you lose a pet, you can send away to these companies and they'll
fucking remix that bitch and send it back.
Right.
Yeah.
At as close a proximity as you can imagine.
Yeah.
Right? That we know is possible. Okay. So now...
Through Viagen Pets right there.
So that's in the animal world. So now in the human world, we know that there are multiple surgeries that we know we can replace this with that. All the way up to, what's our last achievement? Is it heart? The guy passed away with a pig heart, but it worked for, I'm saying.
Let me see that. Bring up that pig-hearted guy. Right there.
Yeah. Two people have received a
genetically modified pig heart transplant, David Bennett and Lawrence Fawcett. Both were performed in Maryland.
So, there's not
the evidence is there.
Very much left on what it would take as far as abilities go. So,
do you think there's any artists now that you think are not the same artists that we thought they were?
If we're only speaking of biology, I've heard that a man's G-spot is in his anal passage, which means I'm gonna go my whole life without ever experiencing it.
Yeah.
By the same token, everybody is a reflection of what they gotta go through to get to where they at, right? And I just know that the people that have been in positions where they decided to do some stuff that they said they weren't gonna do, they don't be the same on the other side. Nothing they can do can make them seem like what you remember them as.
Have you ever...
I call it spiritual because I don't know what else to call it.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Have you ever faced that in your own life where people try to come at you for...
He got to be real careful in how he asks. He doesn't want to offend Katt neither because they're on a subject that could be very offensive. So he's, how do I ask this question?
Offers like that? Do you think that like stars and get offered that kind of thing? Like to compromise themselves sexually for entertainment?
Again, the things that we are discussing exist in each of the fields.
Right, any field.
Right. Not entertainment exclusively, politics, religion, science, everywhere, right? Some of this is human nature, right? Because we listen and we don't judge.
Were there things that you didn't take in your career that you feel like were like are there things to look out for, do you feel like?
There wasn't for me because I knew I wasn't going to take it, but I did want to get offered.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And most of the stuff I wouldn't have believed until I had to get to a certain level to get to see the proof. You know what I mean? So I was as shocked as anybody about how powerful Harvey Weinstein was at the time that I was meeting with him, and how he could not be told no. That he get whatever he want. You follow what I'm saying?
They'll figure out some way.
Right, so I thought that didn't apply to me because I don't care about nothing but bitches and good business, right? Yeah. And then he offered me 2 actresses like they was playing cards. Damn. And I was like, what?
Like he just jumped to the head like, oh.
He was like, I know you.
Damn.
Right, like, what?
Some aces.
Damn. No, my personal aces.
Yeah. Did you think about it?
Look, I'm not... In these scary situations, I don't even leave it up to me. Like, I'm going to do what the superhero would do in this part of the movie, regardless, and deal with what happens after, yeah. Just because it's a story, and I know it's a story. Right. It's my story. You know what I mean? So I can't...
That's a good way to think about things in general.
Yeah.
What would the superhero do right now?
Yeah, because I'm saying, I read about Jesus getting to the mountaintop and the devil saying you can have all of this, and him saying you don't have anything to offer me. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what I got to look up to. So I'm going to follow suit in the best version I can, regardless of...
If you're wondering, like, damn, this guy is like just super knowledgeable, it's simply because when he was young and still as an adult, he read a lot of books on literally like just everything, science, history, biographies. He's got a couple of videos where he talks about his desire to just want to learn. And this is outside of schooling. So he's a very, he's an intellectual guy who loves to read, who just likes to just build on knowledge. So if you're wondering that, go pick up a book.
Anything else?
Do you think, some people think that guys like Martin Luther King were compromised by the CIA. Do you ever believe stuff like that?
Well, this kind of goes back to...
Like, there's a lot of conspiracy theory stuff about that, you know?
Somebody says it's a conspiracy, but that doesn't make it the case.
Agreed.
In both of these cases that we've had these conversations, we are talking about the FBI and the CIA. So what do you think they do?